Adrian Sutil making his return to Formula One.
A great story at the moment.
Doing a fine job, having been out of the sport for a year. He wouldn't ever be back in Formula One. Has just set the fastest lap of the race.
Certainly come back fresh, impressive performance.
Well, and what a way to come back into Formula One.
Hi everyone and welcome to round 5 of season and Sutil. Today we are in Spain and I'm sorry for the late upload. I had a lot of college work and essay writing to do. But I go into 4th place with that lap on the hard tyres, and the hard tyres were feeling good. I was leaning on them, there wasn't much wear, pretty consistent in terms of where the car was going on every lap. Although the last chicane I had a real problem with oversteer. Whenever I went over the second curb it literally flung it, and I had to try and control it, usually off the track on that little bit of concrete to the left. But as you can see, we are purple in the first sector on this lap that you're seeing, as we look to improve on our 4th place and move up a little. But I go really wide in this corner and accelerate on the curb, hit the wall, front wing and a puncture, so that ended my hard tyre stint. But of course later on in the session I put on the medium tyres, and they offer me a lot more grip and a lot more speed, and you'll see that I'll go half a second quicker than I did before on the hard tyres to go into 3rd place, which was alright. But yet again we just carry on with a Mercedes to our right, and then we have a bit of traffic in front of us of Chilton, I think is up the road, and we're yet again trying to improve. 3rd place though is pretty good position already, but I feel there's more time to be found, especially in the middle sector. We go down the inside of Chilton, but then we put on our power way too early and go on the grass, hit the gravel, lose the back end, hit the wall, little bit of front wing gone, and then Rosberg clatters into the back of us and he's lost his front wing. Like, I didn't get a penalty though, which was lucky, but I call it a day in terms of practice. And it's a German 1-2-3 in practice, and it looked pretty good for qualifying, so I decided to strap on the prime tyres for the first session. The lap was going okay. I have to say I was losing time a lot in the middle sector compared to the medium runners. But you'll see here, as I exit the last chicane and go towards the line, everything is yet again going absolutely fine. And I go 2nd place, 1.1 seconds off Rosberg though, which I was a bit concerned about. So I decided to carry on pushing on this lap. But I'm just going to show you this bit of lap, because although I don't improve at the end, I just want you to see how I was driving really around this track, because a lot of the time these highlights are literally just the start finish straight and the pit stops and the first sector. So I decided to show you a little bit more, just to show you the kind of lines I was taking around this track, although I was pretty down in this lap in the first sector, not as good as my previous one. But I actually hit the apex of that and didn't go into the wall, which was pretty crucial. But that was pretty much it for that, and yeah, so I got into Q2 pretty easily. As we move on to Q2, and of course I've got the medium tyres on because I have to really. I haven't set a lap time yet, but Paul di Resta's right in the way. I have to overtake him, which does cost me time, especially in that corner, because I should have got a little bit of a better entry into the corner. But on the exit, at the end of the lap, sorry, I go 7th place, which is not good really. I really should be further up, and I push for further up, a little bit too much pushing though, and I'm in the wall. So I have to go in for repairs, which cost me a lot of time, and I strapped some new medium tyres and go for it again. Of course I'm in the drop zone because that lap wasn't that good, as I said before, and we are looking to get in, and I'm green on that sector to Jensen Button, which I think is the cutoff, and I go across the line, 12th place. Still not good enough, but I have time left in the session for me to get that last lap in which I do, and I earn all my time in the middle sector because I was a 10th down to bust the middle sector, and I go across the line. I think I go 7th. Good work from my engineer, which is good. So Q3 yet again for Adrian Sutil and myself in Spain. But I strap on the prime tyre for Q3, just one timed run, because I felt otherwise it's going to be 10th or maybe 9th or 8th at most and I may as well just do one lap. So my tyres are completely shod for the race. So I realised the tyre wear is quite high around here, so I wanted to preserve those tyres a little bit. We're going into the last chicane. You see that I don't really get a very good exit, but it's better than what I normally get. And I actually set a time which is only 2/10 off my medium tyre pace, so it was actually a really good lap in the end, and it got me 8th place on the grid. But silly me forgot to look at the weather forecast, and of course it was wet, so that was pretty dumb of me to even qualify on the primes, considering that it was inters. Well, it was wet even. So, however, on the grid you'll see that we've got Raikkonen to our left, and then we have a Mercedes, I think, in front. Oh, Mark Webber. I can't really see on my screen. And as the start gets away, it looks like we've kind of got the same start as Raikkonen. Webber's gone off a bit into the distance, and I'm trying to get Raikkonen, but in the second phase of the start they get a better run, and Perez is going to go to our left as we head towards the first corner. I can't really see because of the spray, going really slowly and carefully, but on the second corner here I lose my back end, hit Raikkonen, I'm into the wall. That's my front wing and puncture. It's going to be a long race from here. I get a penalty, quite rightfully so, hitting Raikkonen, and Raikkonen I think went out of the race. Oh no, he didn't, that's a lie. But I had to of course get a new set of intermediates on and a new front wing, which cost me a lot of time. Doing these pit stops cost me so much time, but I really like these new pit cameras, they really look good. But moving on, we exit the pits. I think we're around 10 seconds, yeah, 10 seconds behind Chilton in front, who is in 21st place and last except for me, as pretty much usual, which is unfortunate for Chilton. But you can see here that, well, my pace is pretty bad, but I have to go into the pits again for my penalty, which, yeah, it's just a straightforward drive through, but that drops me 20 seconds or 25 seconds I think behind Chilton, which is really not what I want, and I don't even know if I can get past Chilton in this race, as I'm not that good in the inters, and the inters were wearing pretty quickly. And you can see here that this is way further down in the race, and I haven't pitted yet, and I was just, my back end was starting to go, the tyres were looking pretty bad, and you'll see that here, that on the exit I have to go onto the grass doing a bit of off-roading, but I'm back on the track heading towards the second sector, and I go off again. The rears are just completely gone. But the off-roading, the Force India seems pretty good off-road. I'm not saying it's a challenge for Land Rover, but it's pretty good except for that. And of course, at this point I was losing so much time, especially Chilton with those back end. But Chilton pissed the next lap for a new set of inters. And of course I went up into 21st place, which was not good, because I'm nowhere near the point at all. I'm in with all the back markers in this race. But my tyres were so red, as you can see on the tyre wear, that around this corner, literally turn the car, put the acceleration on, and it just goes straight off. And of course Chilton has passed, and then I put my power on again, and I hit the wall, and that's my front wing gone. And of course now I'll be lapped, and I am lapped, which is pretty embarrassing, if I'm not gonna lie. Later on in the lap especially, I have a lot of problems. As you can see in the last chicane, I spin it round because the tyres are completely gone. I was spinning up my wheels so much because, well, I had the lack of downforce, and they were completely red anyway. But heading into the pits then for another set of inters, which is going to put me even further behind Chilton, who's on a new set. So too many pit stops in this race so far. I hope you enjoy this race. I know it's not particularly the most professional of them. It's pretty noobish, not going to lie. But changed my tyres for another set of inters, and I am on my way, of course, with a new front wing, which I'm not sure how many replacements they have, but they need a lot for this weekend. And of course then, a couple of laps later, it was time for the dry tyres. Now, I was ahead of all the AI in terms of pitting onto this tyre, and it turns out the AI never actually pitted onto this tyre, so I started overtaking like crazy. And I mean, I actually have an overtake counter here, where we get past Charles Pic in the... so you get past Vandergaard, sorry, first, and then Pic. That was 2 overtakes. And then you have Bianchi in the Marussia, who I'm unlapping all these people as we go. But yeah, so many overtakes. The 4th overtake I've done. Then we have a Toro Rosso, which we get past. Then we have the Sauber, which we get past. Overtaking cars like crazy, setting the fastest lap and everything. But we've gone around the outside of Valtteri Bottas. That's number 7. And then we go around the outside of Maldonado. That's number 8. And then number 9, we go down the outside of Paul di Resta. Number 10, we go down Raikkonen's inside, who's really struggling. And then 11, we are getting past Jenson Button in the McLaren. Number 12, sorry, there's way too many overtakes, so my PC can't catch up. But we've got 13, then 14 is around the outside of Grosjean, who, and it turns out, I think I finished around 4 seconds behind Chilton. In those last 3 laps, I caught up a minute to Chilton, which is pretty amazing. But that has been it for this race. No points for me in this race, but I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. This has been Alex, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.